Welcome to day 26, the 30-day video challenge and the story of me. So, we're going to take a left turn from our normal routine here and wanted to record what I will call my predictions. And so, for the last couple of years, I've been talking to Christy incessantly about this as we see constant examples. And so it made sense that I talk about it in this journey of our 30-day videos so that when it comes true, we can look back and see how correct I was. So as we've talked about before, I am definitely into tech and gadgets and a nerd when it comes to that neat stuff. So I do drive a 2022 Tesla. And so when they first came out, I've always been interested in the process. And then when we met with Ofer, Ofer got us in the process of thinking 5, 10, 20 years in the future and talking about how fast things are accelerating. So one of the things that he began to mention, which we're already now hearing, if you do any research or studying of tech companies like Tesla, they're saying that within the next 2 to 4 years that cars are not going to have steering wheels. And the reason why they're not going to need steering wheels is because they're going to be self-driving. And so once Ofer talked to us about that, that was probably about 5 years ago now. So I've always had that stuck in my brain and just think about it of example after example of why that is basically not only going to happen, but why it should. And just how many times, if you think about the whole process of driving vehicles, you have dozens or hundreds of individuals driving their own vehicle, wanting to do their own thing at their own time in their own way. That is a recipe for chaos. And you pretty much see it. You know, how many accidents are there, or how many near accidents are there because people end up doing stupid things. And so thinking about an automated system where a computer runs the network. So the highways and the cross streets and the main roads are all one network. And like I said, you can ask Christy just about any time we're in the car, something will happen, and I'll just look at her and be like, automated cars, it can't happen soon enough for safety's sake. And so for example, how long have you waited to merge into traffic because nobody will let you in? Well, with an automated system, it would automatically generate a gap and have you, go on your way. How much faster would everybody get everywhere because the network is maximizing the traffic, the routes, and the timing. It can automatically reroute wherever you go. Christy and I ran into that a few times. The Tesla does have navigation on it. And, when I first got it, there were a couple of trips, they weren't long trips, but just a couple of places we went where it was trying to direct us, in a different way that I was used to going. So I'm like, no, I'm just going to keep going the way that I did. And we ran smack into an accident on the freeway where we ended up having to sit for 20 or 30 extra minutes. And in looking at the map, the Tesla was trying to navigate me around it, but I chose to ignore the computer. So we started quickly saying the computer is smarter than me. So it doesn't necessarily matter if I know where I want to go. The car is going to navigate, or my car doesn't navigate yet, but the car is going to direct us in the most economical way that we should get there. So if you have an automatic network of one hive mind working towards the common goal, basically at that point, you don't need traffic lights. So there's no need for stopping. There's definitely going to be better traffic flow. There's been plenty of times where, like right down at the school at 15 Mile, if you want to make a right-hand turn, it's a 2-lane, but the person in front doesn't make a right-hand turn. They want to go straight. Well, now none of the cars behind can make the right-hand turn to keep traffic flowing. Coming out of the parking lot, people want to turn left, but people don't let you in and they pull right up in front of the intersection. And now you have to wait until all the traffic clears. So, and I'm sure you've seen hundreds of examples, the same of just, people doing stupid things, making a right-hand turn from the inside left-hand lane. and things like that, that would all be eliminated. So my prediction is within my lifetime, we will see a fully automated network of cars. So right now, Tesla is working on full self-driving, and that's what they've called it for decades. And they've promised it for quite a while, and it's coming along, but it still has a ways to go. Now, as more companies jump on board, who knows who else might develop that concept? And so it doesn't have to be Tesla. It could be somebody else that comes up with the idea. And so we don't know exactly what it looks like, but rest assured, one of the games Ofer played with us when we were talking about the cars, and that's when he said, well, the car doesn't have to have a steering wheel. And he was like, well, imagine a world where you don't have to take the kids anywhere. And he used karate schools as an example. That think of an Uber currently, but make it automated. You would use the app, call for a car. The car would pull up. You would put in a code to open the door. The kids could get in the car, and then it locks. Nobody else has that code except you. And then you would send me the code so that when the car arrived at the karate school, I would enter the code and the kids could get out of the car. Therefore, they're perfectly safe. There's no way anybody else, could get to them, harm them, do anything. And the vehicle just automatically drives itself. Some of the gazillion other things. What about instead of having a front row and a back row, the rows turn and face each other? So like a subway. So now you can sit, or a train, subway or a train. Now you can sit and talk to each other while, the car drives and gets you to your destination. What about a movie theater? So there's a big, movie screen. So you can turn shades down to make it dark and watch a movie while the car drives. And one of the many things that I loved working in and being in a mastermind with Ofer was just that process of, he really opened up our minds to being able to think and create what if? And so there were some drills we did where, look at an amusement park. You have a ride that goes up and down, and you have a ride that goes side to side. Well, how many variations of this can we make now? Well, we have a different ride or amusement that goes up and down and side to side, or it goes side to side and up and down, or it goes diagonal. So there's definitely lots of great learning, and we'll always forever be grateful to Ofer Breyer for teaching me a better way of thinking and a different way of thinking than most, to be able to create things and see patterns that weren't aware, right? They were always there, but I wasn't aware of them. And thanks to Ofer, we'll be able to see those things. But once again, that's my prediction. Either hive mind network of cars, or at least at minimum, automated driving systems that interconnect and speak with each other, so that way there is a computer running our travel network. So we'll see if that comes true or not. And if it does, we can come back to this video and say I was right. All right, that takes care of day 26. Have a great night. Talk to you tomorrow.